Ramins, welcome back for another pre-match analysis video, and it is pretty hard to be happy about this one because we did lose to Lille in the Champions League midweek, and there is a lot to break down because I don't think that it's acceptable what's going on with this team. I don't think that this is the image that Real Madrid should be putting out to the world, especially with this star-studded team. There's a lot to fix, there's a lot to break down, there's a lot of news that we do need to talk about, so I hope you stick around and enjoy the video. Alright, that means before we get into the breakdown of the match analysis for the Villarreal game, I would like to talk about what happened midweek against Lille. Listen, there's no other way to put it other than the fact that the team has a lot to fix. Ancelotti has a lot to work on, and there's a lot of decisions that he's been making lately that I just don't agree with. Going back all the way to the game against Atletico Madrid, I do think that he definitely messed up when he took out all the firepower that the team had, and we ended up playing with like a 6-man backline, which I've never seen before. And listen, to a certain extent, I do get that you want to defend the lead because you are playing in a very tough stadium. You are playing against one of your biggest rivals. And listen, I don't think that Ancelotti deserves to take all the blame for what happened against Atletico because I do think that Endrick really messed up when he took that shot. And it was a very identical play to the goal that he scored against Stuttgart in the Champions League, in which he had Vinicius wide open, he had Mbappe wide open. This time he had Bellingham wide open. It could have been a really good counterattack. It was a 3v2 situation if I recall correctly. And he took the wrong decision again. And I understand that last time he scored it and that's why he probably took that decision, but the guy needs to learn. But what happened at Lille was unacceptable. I do think that the entire team didn't play well, but there is one player that is actually really pissing me off. And if you've watched any of the analysis videos in the past, you might already guess that I'm talking about Vinny Jr. Seriously guys, Vinny this season has been complete ass, booty cheeks, shiza. And listen, my issue with Vinny is that he's arguably been one of the best players on the team since the 2021-2022 season started. And listen, you put all the racism talk aside, Vinny does have an attitude problem. But personally, these last 3 years, it hasn't bothered me one bit. Because yeah, he's hot-headed, but he was performing, guys. He was balling out. So unlike many other people, I personally didn't really care about Vinny's attitude problem. I actually kind of like the level of competitiveness that he showed. But now Vinicius doesn't do anything. He loses pretty much every ball that he gets. And listen, I understand that as a winger, Vinny is a lot more susceptible to losing the ball. I mean, he takes a lot more chances going up against defenders, dribbling against them, his style of play. He's just more likely to lose possession. But since the start of the season, his passing has been terrible. His shooting has been inconsistent. His dribbling hasn't been half as good as it used to be. And I talk to a lot of Madridistas and they all tell me that, oh, he's getting used to Mbappe being in the team. Guys, Mbappe played 30 minutes against Lille. He did not play against Atletico. Vinicius Jr. was awful against those teams. When Vinny went to Brazil to play for the national team during the international break, he was also terrible, and the Brazil press absolutely destroyed him for it. And maybe he did set the bar too high over these last 3 seasons, but guys, he's always losing the ball, he's always losing possession, and that costs Real Madrid going forward. His only good game this season was against Espanyol, and if you recall correctly, he came off the bench, he didn't even start. Vinny was incredible in that game. He absolutely changed the dynamic of the game. But as a starter, the entire season, Vinicius has been awful. I am tired of him, and it really pains me to say that, but I just can't stand him anymore. I think he needs to be benched, and I don't think that Ancelotti has what it takes to really make that decision, especially with the Ballon d'Or ceremony looming. Wow. No, I need to change that. We went from Vinny to... Alright, listen, I don't mean to bore you with this Vinny rant, so I'm gonna get straight to the news. Now, Rodrigo and Militao, as you can see here, let me make this bigger. As you can see here, Rodrigo was not involved at all against Lille, having struggled with a back complaint since the Madrid derby. Now, personally, this makes me feel a lot better about Ancelotti because I was absolutely fuming during the game against Lille for the fact that Rodrigo wasn't coming out. I knew that he was on the bench, but Rodrigo wasn't playing. I couldn't understand why. I couldn't understand why he wasn't taking off Vinicius and putting on Rodrigo to play in the left wing. But this makes a lot of sense. This makes me feel a lot better about Ancelotti moving forward. Now, we will talk about my starting lineup prediction in a second, but I really do hope that Rodrigo makes it into the starting 11. And the last bit of news that I do have for you, with only one game to go before the international break, Kylian Mbappe and Ferland Mendy have not been called up by France, which is honestly very good news because with the amount of games that are being played this season and with Ancelotti out here not being able to rotate the squad the way that he should be, I was indeed worried that with Mbappe recovering so soon that he was going to be playing for France as well. But he's going to be staying in Valdebebas, focusing on recovering his form, which is very good news for the club. Now, guys, before we get into lineup predictions, I do want to show you what the league table looks like currently. As you can see on the screen, this is the top 6 teams of the LaLiga table. Real Madrid were indeed able to shorten the 4-point gap that Barcelona had at the top of the table because Barcelona did lose against Osasuna and Real Madrid did tie against Atletico Madrid, so they were able to shorten the gap by 1 point, even though it would have been an incredible win if we won at the Estadio Metropolitano. But that tie also implicated that Villarreal took over Atletico Madrid as 3rd in the table. So once again, we are playing the 3rd place team in La Liga. Once again, it's going to be a very big battle. And just like the game against Betis right before the last international break, this is also a very crucial game. Because let me show you Real Madrid's schedule over the next couple of weeks. When club football resumes, we will be playing away at Celta de Vigo, who are currently placed 10th in the table. And then we have the Champions League final rematch against Dortmund at home. We have the first Clásico of the season at home as well. Then we play Valencia, who, by the way, they are actually 18th place in the table. They are struggling quite a lot. But if you know anything about that rivalry, you already know that Valencia are going to play their best football against us. And after that game, we have another home match against AC Milan, which, by the way, these next two Champions League games are going to be crucial because we just dropped points against Lille. We didn't even just drop points, we lost to them. And trust me, with how packed the schedule is, we definitely do not want to be playing in the playoff rounds. Yes, there is a playoff round this year in the Champions League because of the new league format, and I want to avoid that at all costs. And after the Milan game, we play at home once again against Osasuna, who just beat Barcelona. And then we have another international break, but this next couple of games are going to be tough. And if we don't beat Villarreal at home, it's going to get very complicated for us. But anyways, guys, as you can see on the screen here, this is what I would like to see from the team tomorrow. I think this is the best lineup that we can pull out against a third place Villarreal. Now, the defensive part of the starting lineup is pretty straightforward. We do have Lunin in goal because Courtois is injured with an abductor injury, and I don't expect him to play. He is going to be out for at least another week. I didn't speak about his news because honestly, there isn't really any news to tell. But yeah, we have our captain Carvajal starting at right back. We have Rudiger and Militao as center back buddies. We have Mendy starting as left back. And now, I am not very pleased with Tchouaméni this season. I don't think that he's been playing at his best level, and I also think that he's very good defensively, but I don't think he's that good going forward. And I think that Camavinga needs to play because he needs to get better and better. And listen, I know that the Villarreal game is a big game. I know that we can't experiment, but I do think that Camavinga is the best option we have. Tchouaméni has been subpar this season. It's just a reality. The other two midfielders are pretty straightforward. It's Jude and Fede because, I mean, they have been Real Madrid's best players this season. You can maybe throw in Rodrigo in there. Now, the front three, this is what I would like to see, but again, this is Ancelotti, and I don't think that he's going to be playing Arda Güler out wide as a right winger like I have him. Because again, this is a big game. I don't think Ancelotti has the balls right now to be able to bench Vinicius. So this is my starting lineup prediction for tomorrow. Again, the only thing that changes is that Rodrigo switches wings. He plays in the right wing position. Vinny replaces Arda. He will be playing as a left winger. And then Mbappé starts as a striker, which, by the way, renowned journalist Josep Pedrerol, who you might know as the famous host of El Chiringuito de Jugones, reported that Mbappé has assured that he will be scoring 50 goals this season. Which, hey, it's exactly what I want to hear from a guy that has everything that it takes to score those kind of goals. But we have to hope that he's fully recovered because he cannot get injured again. He has to stay fit if he is going to reach that number of goals. But with that being said, it means I do expect a very high scoring game between Real Madrid and Villarreal because Villarreal have scored the same amount of goals as Real Madrid this season in La Liga. So I'm going to predict a 3-2 scoreline because I do want to be positive. I do want to bet on Real Madrid winning this game. And once again, this is a crucial game this season, so I really hope that we pull this off. With that being said, it means I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to smash the thumbs up button, go subscribe to our channel. We will be going to the Villarreal game, so stay tuned for the match day vlog. And please, please, please let me know in the comments what you think of the team, what you think we can fix to actually start playing well, and if you agree with me on the whole Vinny situation. And with that being said, it means I will catch you guys next time. Peace.